Hi. Okay, so I'm at home and I have the lighting. So I'm going to film this video. I look tired because one, I just woke up, and two, I'm not wearing makeup at all, so this is how my bare face looks. So what I'm going to come to you guys about today is a serious topic. I'm going to upload this on YouTube. It's going to be called What It's Going to Be About. Um, Last night on Tumblr, I was like, so I'm going to talk about sexual harassment, my experience with sexual harassment, and I got positive feedback. So here's the video. I'm going to talk about my experience with sexual harassment from the experience of being black, being self-identified queer, and being a woman. So I think I'm going to go in chronological order from what I can remember because some of the stuff might be repressed memories, which happens if um, you've experienced traumatic things. So I'm just going to start with um, when I was a freshman in high school. So I was about probably 14 years old, and um, I was still nonetheless a child and a minor on legal standards as well. So I was just figuring out um, who I was, I guess, identity wise. I had realized at this time that I was pansexual, as opposed to what I'd previously thought. I thought I was bisexual, but I identified as pansexual. So this incident in particular, was I 14 or was I 15? I think I was around that age. I was either a freshman in high school or a no, I was 14. So this happens. I told my then friend, that I was pansexual, and people who don't know the people who believe in the non-gender binary aren't going to exactly grasp the definition of pansexual being sexually attracted to all genders. So I just explained it as I'm attracted to people regardless of gender. And this was on a Facebook Messenger thing, back when Facebook was up and popping. And this guy was like, "Wow, I see you in a different light now." And I should have thought of that as a red light, but like I said, I was 14, so I didn't really know the red lights per se of, hey, this isn't good. Like I felt uncomfortable, but I don't know. I was like 14, like I said, and it's like, I see you in a different way now. And then I feel like I should have warned you guys. Uh, this is gonna be graphic, so if you're uncomfortable with, um, could this be pedophilia? It could be. Just in case there's pedophilia in here, there's mentions of sexual harassment. There's mentions of uh, there's just mentions of sexual stuff in here. So if you are uncomfortable with that, then I highly advise you either don't watch this video, or after I watch this video myself, I'll probably put some places where you can skip, just in case you want to watch content of the video, but just not those specific parts. I totally understand that. I just don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable because I'm making this video to raise awareness on the subject, so that if you are going through this or know someone who does this sort of thing, one, that they need to stop, and two, the people who are experiencing it, that they're not alone. I think that's all I have to say on that one. Okay, so anyways, back to the story. Um, he asked me, mind you, again, I was 14 years old, a child, who, uh, I was past puberty age, but still, I am a child. He asked me if I wanted to have a threesome, and I was like, no, because I honestly saw that coming, because like when you're at least bisexual, you expect that out of people, and when you're pansexual, it's like a lot worse, I guess. I don't know. Um, But yeah, he asked me if he wanted a threesome, and I said no. And he's like, "Why? Do you think I'm ugly?" Yes, I did, but I didn't want to say that because I was being nice. I thought this person was my friend. They're not now, thank God. I just ignored them from then on. But like, he kept like coming on to me and stuff, and he was like, "What? Am I not attractive?" And I forgot what exactly I said, but I said something along the lines of, "I'm not into that. I don't want to do that." But then he like went on talking about how he had fuck buddies and stuff, and I was just still uncomfortable because, like I said, I was 14 years old and I didn't really know this person. And I said before, no, I'm not attracted to you like that. I no, basically. And then um, from then on, they kept like being weird. Like one time, they texted me. I don't know how and why I gave them my number, but like I said, I was 14. They texted me when they were drunk. Not I don't drink. Um, they texted me when they were drunk, and it wasn't. They were like trying to be funny, I guess. I forgot what exactly they said, but they just said some stuff that was like really weird and awkward, like not funny, awkward, but like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Awkward. Okay, so I feel like I'm gonna bounce around with this a little bit because my mind doesn't think very linear fashion. So I'm gonna go to I think I was around the same age, 14, 15. Um, this was either after my show choir practice or after some sort of practice of some sort. Uh, my friend had left already. Their mother came to pick them up before mine did, and I was waiting for my mom to pick me up, and I wasn't quite alone, but like there was nobody that I was that close to just yet because I think this was like towards the beginning of the year, so like I'm a shy person, so I don't really get to know people until like second semester, maybe like mid first semester. But sometimes for some people it takes me longer to get close to them. Sometimes it's like that. We click like that. Anyways, I basically didn't have anybody there to help me with this. I'm not going to disclose names because I really feel like dealing with them. But this incident, this person was, I can't remember if he was a year older than me or an upper class, like one school year ahead of me, but he was older than me. And he said something, I can't remember because I have shitty memory. And I said something, and my response was "suck my dick," because you know how kids are. They say that all the time. And he's like, "What? You have a dick? Let me see." And then he uh, grabbed my groin to check, and I screamed because that was my first instinct, to scream to get attention so that people would know, hey, I'm in trouble. And I don't blame my friend for not being there because they can't help their mom coming early, but like I don't know, I just in that moment I just felt alone because there weren't many people there to help. And I don't know if they would have helped because like I don't know. It's just like a thing that I don't know. It just happened so fast that I don't know if anyone would have noticed because people scream all the time at that school. So I don't know if people would have taken it seriously or not.
Right.
Hmm?
Who are you talking to? Huh?
I'm filming.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Um, I'm probably gonna cut that out. It depends if I feel like editing this. Um, but yeah, that happened, and that one's kind of a little harder to tell about because, like I said, it was more of a physical thing, where the thing before was like, what the fuck? Why are you talking to me? Um, so yeah, there was that. I stopped talking to them since. I disconnected with them. Anytime they would even look at me, I'd shoo them. Like I wouldn't have it. Like, don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Okay, so the next incident was, I was around the same age. I was still in the show choir. Uh, I was 15, just about. Notice the pattern here. Like I said, I'm not going to disclose any names. This one time, I I was just walking and I had leggings on, and what I was wearing doesn't really matter. It does, just because what I'm wearing it shouldn't warrant people to want to touch me without my permission. But this person tried to grab my butt. They always did, and I constantly expressed my discomfort with that, especially if you didn't ask, and I didn't know you like that, and I didn't like you like that. So, like, I would constantly be like, hey, please don't do that, please don't do that, please don't do that. Stop touching me. That, no, no, thank you. And they wouldn't get it, and they would keep touching my butt at random times. They would keep trying to hug on me. They would keep trying to come on to me. They would keep trying to be, like, affectionate, and I was like, no, stop. That's annoying. Leave me alone. And eventually this is the same pattern. I kept, like, disassociating myself with them. I would keep detaching myself from them so that they would get it. Like, I shouldn't have to, like, completely ignore you for you to get that. I don't like that, but in some instances, you just have to, you know? Um, so that was more of my experience with just being a woman in general, being female, just dealing with sexual harassment. Uh, I'm trying to come up with what to say. It was really scary, I guess, that these were like um, older men, older boys, rather, coming after me. Like, because like I said, I was 14 or 15 years old. I'd just come out of middle school in the case where I was a freshman. I'd just come out of middle school. And um, I was not in a relationship before that. Well, I was in a relationship at some point in high school, like my earlier time in high school, but like before that, had not been in a relationship since I was like 13, and that wasn't even an actual relationship, really. So to go from that to being constantly seen as a sexual object at that age was like, I don't know, it's just like, it makes you, it changes you, I guess. So, um, I think I'm gonna fast forward to a very recent event that happened Thursday. Today is Sunday, so I guess you could call it last Thursday, I guess. My pride group went bowling, and because it's rush week, and that's when they initiate the sorority and fraternity members. I'm not part of that, so if I'm like saying the definition wrong, I'm sorry. I don't really know. Um, so yeah, they one of the fraternities or sororities had our usual meeting place, the governance chambers. So obviously we couldn't go there because Greek life is over everything, basically. So the president of the group decided to go to the bowling alley nearby, and I was like, okay, cool. Uh, I'm not very good at bowling. Mediocre at bowling, but okay, let's go. I might make some friends. I might meet someone. You never know. It's all for fun. So I went. I carpooled with like 5 or so people because I still don't have a license. I don't have a car, so there. I'm not walking. I'm not walking to a bowling alley at like 8. You know, that's not safe. Um, trying to remember where I was going. So it started out all cool. It was fine. We were all bowling. We were having fun. We were having wholesome fun. And then one of the people I was carpooling with, they're 21, so they did what 21-year-olds do and get a drink. But yeah, so she got like this really tall thing of, I think it was beer, and she had some, and then um one of the people crap, one of the people I carpooled with had a sip too, not just a sip because they ended up getting drunk later. So if it was a sip, then they're like, wait, it's not my business. Um, so uh, I was dressed a certain way. I always dress nice for a pride meeting, like, cause honestly, I like pride. So I don't know. I just want to dress a little bit nicer. There might be potential significant others, so I don't know. I thought I'd draw attention. Plus, I felt like dressing nicely. Um, excuse me, my voice. So that day, like I said, nothing. What I wear had nothing to do with their actions. It does not justify their actions. It's just like the reason why they decided to act like a fool is because I was wearing that. That does not justify it. So I was wearing a white crop top that it was like it ended here. And then I had some shorts on because it was hot. Even though it's September, it was like 80 degrees that week. It was like 82 degrees. Lowest was like probably 69 or something. It was hot. So I was like, hey, I'm just gonna wear this. I'm just gonna throw this on. It's comfortable. So I wore it, and I guess the person, one of the people I was bowling with, is like, Jordan, I am gonna say this. You're really hot, and I'm like, thanks. And I'm starting to get uncomfortable because I personally, I don't. I'm polyromantic, so I don't um, romantically have interest in anyone who identifies as. I don't like saying male because it seems so rad femme, but I'm gonna say it for conversation's sake. Um, I'm not attracted to people who identify as male. So romantically that is. So it was like really uncomfortable. Whenever some guy hits on me, I just get really uncomfortable, and I could tell that he was drunk just by looking at him. He was drunk. So it's like thanks, and he like kept saying that I was hot, and I'm like, okay, I get it. You think I'm attractive? I understand. Thanks for the compliment, but I really don't want that right now. This isn't a club. This isn't this isn't a party. This is a bowling alley where families bowl, where older people bowl, and it's not a dating site. It's not a place where you hook up. It's a fucking bowling alley. So I came there to have fun. Um, I didn't really come there to hook up, and nothing would have happened anyway because he is gay. But then he said, if I was straight, you would be my reach. I would want to date you, and I'm like visibly uncomfortable. Like if you thought I was uncomfortable before, I'm really uncomfortable now. And then uh, he tells me to stand up because my butt's bigger, being black and a girl or someone who has a large butt. You know how this feels, especially when non-black people they like act a fool, like I said. So I'm like, no, I'm not standing up. Like I'm like, no, 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 no. He's like, come on, do it, come on, do it, come on, do it. And I'm like, I'm getting annoyed at this point, and I shouldn't have stood up, but I did. I stood up because one, it was my turn to bowl, and two, so he could shut the fuck up because I was at this point annoyed, and I was like, okay, maybe if I stand up, he'll shut up and stop hitting on me. So that happened, and then I went to talk about my friends about it, and some of the people, it was like straight after bowling, and I was like, yeah, he was hitting on me, and it made me really uncomfortable. And then one of my friends says, yeah, he does that to everyone, and I don't think I ever felt so betrayed and angry and sad at the same time. because normally, I don't know, I just, even if the person knows that person forever or whatever, I would just, if that was my friend and they always did it to everyone, I'd first of all make sure they didn't do that to everyone, especially if they're uncomfortable, because I stated that I was uncomfortable. So I don't know why you would say that after someone stated that they were uncomfortable and like wanting to, like they were uncomfortable. Why would you say, oh, they do that to everyone? As if that's to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna feel uncomfortable now because they do that to everyone. So no, it just made me really upset. Like, I don't know, and I don't know why they would say that. And it's just like, I don't know, it just made me feel some type of way. So, um, yeah. I think that's it. Up to date. Um, I think the last incident really kind of put the icing on the cake and made me do this video is because one, that person was gay, but at the same time they felt the need to hit on me, and like I felt objectified because like I might have done this to, I'm sure, a bunch of women. Like, I've seen articles of them, like, yeah, they will grab my tits, they'll touch my ass, and then be like, oh, it's okay, I'm gay. So, no, it's not okay. It's not okay to touch anyone, and your sexual orientation shouldn't justify the fact that you made someone uncomfortable, you violated someone's personal bubble. So, I don't know why you'd use that excuse, but okay. So that's my experience. Like, I don't know, like a lot of people, because I'm black and the way I'm shaped, I guess how you want to put it. Oftentimes non-black people, over the history of black people being in the Western world, they've gawked at our assets. Like, there were literal zoos where people gawked at black women's large breasts, large buttocks, small waists. There was a black woman, I believe her European given name was Sarah. I think a Belgian man gave that name to her, and they literally gawked at her large breasts and large buttocks. And ever since then, it's just been a part of black women's lives where non-black people will be like, hey, stand up, let's all look at your butt, let's all gawk at you as if you're some sort of statue. And that made me really, that's, I guess, what made me really uncomfortable. Like, on top of you harassing me like that and making me uncomfortable and gawking at the assets that are normally uh, black women's, they're like normally black ones, but it's like a normal thing. On top of you justifying it because you're gay. On top of all that, and then with my past experiences, being objectified because of my sexual orientation, uh, that's like part of my identity, and for someone to sexualize it, especially when I'm a minor, it really made me want to make this video because I'm sure, especially with girls or with anybody who is in the LGBTQ community, um, I wanted to call attention to this. Um, I really wanted to call attention to this to make sure that people knew that, um, like I said, it's not okay for you to objectify someone or violate somebody's personal space just because you are not attracted to them because of your sexual orientation. So not just with gay men um, grabbing women's oops, I don't want to say boobs, tits and their butt without their permission, or like just being gross and pinning it on your orientation. I also mean uh, like just I also mean sapphic people coming on to sapphic people coming on to men. I also mean straight women coming on to sapphic women. That's happened where they're like, "Oh, you're so cute. Don't worry, I'm not gay. I'm not gonna come after you." No, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't use that to hide behind, especially when um, since I was like seventh or eighth grade, I had to stay hidden because I was scared that people would find me predatory, even though I was 12, 13 years old. And for some reason, because um, they thought I would come after them because I was attracted to women. Um, like one time, they were talking about how a girl who had came out as a lesbian, they were scared that they were going to come after her, and that made me really scared because I did not want to go through that. Like, I did not want to go through. I did not want them to harass me because they thought I would come after them. Like, uh, no one should have to go through that. No one should have to go through hiding because people are making them out to be predators. They should not have to feel bad about their um, sexuality because they're scared they're going to be objectified. No, that's not your fault. Them asking you for a threesome, especially if you're a minor, that's their fault and they're at fault. They should not be asking you that. That is invasive, that is violating, and in some cases that is illegal, especially if you're a minor. Um, you should not feel bad for wanting to dress a certain way because you're scared of people coming after you. That you wanting to be comfortable in the hot weather, you not wanting to overheat, your health should not be over somebody else's comments. Like, if you want to wear a crop top, you should not have to worry about people coming after you. And yet, that is the reality that we have to live through. Um, you should not have to worry about, if you're black, you should not have to worry about people touching your natural hair. You should not have to worry about people touching your butt. You should not have to worry about people coming after you because your boobs are bigger, especially if you're younger. You should not have to worry about that. That should be an issue that is addressed. Like, it should be engraved in people's heads. But for some reason, it's 2015 and I'm 18 years old, and I still have to worry about what I wear. I still have to worry about how my clothes fit. Like, even though I myself am comfortable with it, I still have that underlying feeling of, oh man, is somebody going to come after me? Oh man, is somebody going to treat me like that token? Is somebody going to treat me like that exotic black person? Is somebody going to treat me like that predatory sapphic person? Is somebody going to, like, all that stuff I had to go through, all that stuff I had to think about when I get up in the morning, all that stuff I had to think about when I get dressed, and I really should, nobody should. So that's really what this video is about. Um, this thing is going to like 28 minutes, so I don't know if YouTube's gonna let me post this. I hope it does. I'm not gonna edit this because, like I said, I really don't feel like it. It's like 11 or something in the morning. I just woke up, so I don't feel like editing this. But thank you for watching, and I hope this brought some awareness to this. I hope people who are going through this feel safe. I hope people that have done this to other people don't fucking do it again. So, I think that's all I'm gonna say for this time. So I guess I'll see you later.